Welcome everybody to another episode of Worms Whispers Racing Podcast, Mornington Cup Day and Tancred Day in Sydney. As always, I'm joined by Matty. How are you, Matty?
Good, thank you, Worm. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good, thanks, mate. If anyone's watching us on YouTube and Matty seems a bit distracted, he's got the Carlton game in the background, so bear with us, punters.
Just hold, boys.
Oh, you should. So you should be right. You're playing well. As always, this episode's brought you by WishBet. Check them out at wishbet.com.au or download the app at Apple and Android stores. Maddie and I both use them, and we are very happy with them. So check them out, and you won't be disappointed. Uh, Pineapple of the week, Maddie. How did we go last week?
Stock standard bridesmaid.
Yeah, you were a bit
Unfortunately,
unlucky.
yeah. Look, I think we definitely got done by the better horse on the day, but really, really impressive ride as well. So, mate, we'll hand it over, and we'll see what you can do this week, Worm.
Yep. We've got James on board for this week, so hopefully we can get our first victory for one of the sub guys and fill one of their accounts up. Track stats this week. I'll go through three of them for you because it's a big day. The Valley, the Rail, true, and it was true last week at the Valley, so I think it'll play exactly the same. You'd need to be on that rail, and the past 2 years from memory, the William Reid night, the rail has been super hot. So look for the leaders, and you should be winning. As always, act and watch. Mornington Rail True on Saturday. Leaders win at 50% of the time. I'll be looking for leaders at Mornington, especially during those sprint races. I think they'll be on the rail and should be winning. Rosehill Rail, 5 metres, weather dependent this. When the rail has been true, they've been moving out to lanes 4 and 7 on the heavy. They move out to the rail 5. So does that mean they're going to be on the rail and hard to run down? It's a definite watch and act on that, people. Buying shares in and cash out. I've got nothing this week, but I reckon I should be buying shares in Craig Williams. He's riding an absolute treat now. Matty, have you got anything?
I was about to mention Willow and seeing if you're jumping back on board, but what, you're going to give it another week, or
Nah, I'm happy to bring him back in. He's starting to find his
he's
form.
back in?
I think he's right. Yeah, he's back in. He rode a winner on Wednesday for the subs, which was nice of him, and he's rode a winner at Pakenham tonight as well. So I think he's back, and it's good to see. He's one of our best, and yeah, I enjoy when he wins because he rides a lot of winners for the punters.
Very nice. Good to see that one of our portfolio got up last week, Gentleman Roy. So saluted for the portfolio. And I think we've got another one in action, Spanish Mission, which might get a mention a little bit later on. So no changes to the portfolio this week, Worm, but it's looking quite good.
Did you make Gentleman Roy a bet?
Yeah, we did, mate. We did.
Yeah, yeah. I was going to say, no, that's not in the portfolio. It was a bloody winner. Chick Ching.
Exactly.
All right. Rosehill Race 5, Matty, you want to have a look at?
Start off at Rosehill, absolutely. Have you got the odds there for us, Worm?
I am just bringing it up now. Give us a 2 sec. Oh, there it is. Yep. Race 5. What do we got here? It's over the 1,500 metres and odds courtesy of Wishbet. We have Anavisto, the favourite, at $3.30. Kiss on all four cheeks, $4.40. Promise of Success, $5.50. Nimalee, $9. 10 number 5, X-Pac, $10 and $13 the rest.
Perfect. So, Worm, talking points for me within this race. Look, it could be as simple as this being a race down to 2. Anavisto will go forward, and Kiss on all four cheeks will be behind it, depending on how far behind, I think those two will be very, very tough to beat, and they'll definitely get a mention in the preview. But outside of that, I think there's only a couple that might be making ground late that could challenge them, and that's where we'll start. We'll start with Promise of Success. Now, will be worse in midfield. I think it'll sit a little closer than what it did last start when it dropped out to last, because as you'll see, it had to go very, very wide and ran home for fourth. But I think they'll try and sit a little closer, and mapping wise, I think they'll be able to. It really does build some good momentum and has good tempo through the middle of the race. So it'll be one making ground late and one to keep an eye on. We've also got Crone now. We backed Crone last start, which when it was quite disappointing, it didn't make much ground late. Moving up to the 1500 metres will definitely suit it. Again, will it get a little too far back here at Rosehill? Are they going to be making enough ground with the rail out 5 metres? So again, a little bit of a question mark, but Crone's definitely one of the horses within the field that can run above benchmark, which will be where you need to be within this race. Then we get to Anavisto. So I've got Anavisto at number 2. Now, first up form, it's 3 wins and 1 second. Second up form, which is where we find it here, it's had 3 second ups for a win, a second, and an unplaced. Now, Jamie Carr stays on board again, which is a big tick. From the white gate, I see it going forward, and the speed within this race, I see within 3, Expat, Vangelic, and Anavisto will need to go forward, probably find some cover behind Vangelic, but those ones from white, I think will be coming across. So with Jamie on board, I don't really see that as being too much of a negative, but it does restrict its options. So definitely no knocks on Anavisto, and very impressive last start where it controlled the race from go to woe. But the horse I landed on was Kiss on All Four Cheeks, the WA horse that it seems to be able to absorb a lot of pressure all the way throughout its racing. So it looks to map exceptionally well here. So jumping from barrier number 5, there's not too much speed on its inside. So I think you might find Mirror Vision will be jumping to a similar place to Kiss on All Four Cheeks, but it looks like it's going to be able to stalk those horses on speed, being Expat, Vangelic, and Anavisto. So how I see this story playing or unfolding as they come around the corner is, yes, Anavisto might be in front of Kiss on All Four Cheeks, but I don't see Kiss on All Four Cheeks having to make up too much ground to Anavisto as they straighten up. So it's Kiss on All Four Cheeks. What I really like about it is how it absorbs pressure throughout the race, it builds its momentum, and then it's still got that very impressive late closing speed. So Worm for me, Kiss on All Four Cheeks will be my bet in this race. I can't talk anyone out about having a better than Anavisto. Very, very good run last start, but they're the 2 horses I do have quite a long way away ahead of the rest of this field. Now, again, if there's a little bit more pace within the race, you might find Promise of Success and Crone running on. But if it's run to how I see it, with not a whole lot of pressure up forward, Anavisto and Kiss on All Four Cheeks a long way ahead of the rest of this field.
Do you give Nimali any chance? I know it's second up. Its Empire
Yep.
Rose form from last prep was pretty good, but it's 2 from 2 on the heavy. But my concern is, and it's probably only a little bit for me, is it is second up.
No, looking, it was definitely one of the ones that I didn't rule out within the race completely. There are a few question marks on it for me. As you mentioned, second up. Look, Matthew Smith, a very, very good trainer, and Brenton Abdallah on board. No issues there. Look, I just think it comes up against 2 better horses within this race. I don't know whether this is a race that's really going to be set for, but it's going to be a watch, and I can see it having quite a good preparation, but just not within this field. I think there's a few better off.
Yeah, okay. I don't mind it. Wishbet promo this week, AFL special. Lead by 30 points or more at any stage, and if you end up losing, you get paid out as a winner in bonus bet, capped at $200. T's and C's apply. Matty, Blues are up by 30 points at half time. It's a nice little what would you call it? A nice little kickback if you do
I
lose.
guarantee we'll call it security. Security.
That's it, security. And you just never
I've
know.
had to turn
You
it off.
just
It
never
was
know.
distracting. It was distracting me too much, mate. I'll pick it up after this.
All right, race 6, Mornington. I'm going to preview this. That's the Mornington Cup over 2,400 metres. The favourite is, we'll call them joint favourite, 2 and 4, Pondus and Crystal Pegasus, around the 260, 270 mark. Sacramento, $6. Number 1, Defibrillate, $8. Doos the Dart, $8. And 26 and 100 to 1 for the Tassie White Hawk and Kabula from the Warren stable. The speed map, it's a really good one to look at here because Sacramento will roll forward. He will set a nice tempo. The interesting one that I feel is Crystal Pegasus. Willow from Barrier 7 doesn't like to be too negative on his horses. So will he roll forward and take it out of its comfort zone? That's a good one, and I can't wait to find this out. Ponder should be sitting behind them, smoking the pipe. Hopefully, Crystal Pegasus goes forward because he can really sit behind him. And Defibrillate should be on Pondus's back, and the rest I don't think have any chance. As I said, I think it's a 2-horse race, Pondus and Crystal Pegasus, with Willow going on. Crystal Pegasus from Barrier 7, as I said before, can't see him going back to near last. I reckon he sits outside the leader. I reckon we have a 2-horse war down the straight. Crystal Pegasus was bloody impressive last start. 5-length winner to Tiger, who ran super in the Adelaide Cup. I think it ran second from memory. Plus, if Willow rolls forward, he can pinch it. I think that's its only winning chance if it can roll forward. But I'm happy to be on number 2, Pondus. Its last start, it was good, winning by 3.75 lengths 7 days ago. Beat the Defibrillate by 5.2 lengths. Can't see him turning the tables. Last prep, the horse was huge, sat on a very fast tempo and was beaten by Grand Promenade by 2 lengths. And then the Moonee Valley Cup, it went down by a length, and I don't reckon conditions really suited that day. If Mick D switched on, he can really camp behind Willow here and Crystal Pegasus, and straightening up, he can just peel off and go whooshka. So number 2, Pondus, is where I'm landing. Matty.
Okay. Interesting. I'm really interested that Waller's taking Crystal Pegasus to this race. I thought it would have headed back towards Sydney on its way to a Sydney Cup, but it just doesn't seem to fail this horse. I know it's had J Mac and Jamie Carr on board, so it's going to be interesting seeing what Williams does. But it's just a very impressive horse. So look, I think you're right. I think these two will be fighting it out down the straight. So hopefully they're in for a good battle.
I think the free ticket into the Caulfield Cup has swayed them over the Sydney. I still think he goes to the Sydney Cup, but I reckon a free ticket on the way through might be the way they want, and smart. It's very weak,
Okay.
except Pondus. But yes, all right. If you want to be part of my subscription, guys, this is the last week of March to get involved. It's his last time. It's going to be free. We're only down around 3 units for the month. For that subscription, you will get maps for all races that we bet into. You'll receive an audio every Saturday morning for my thoughts on each race in the Melbourne Metropolitan meeting. Anytime you want to ask about a horse and get an assessment, I can do that for you. So with 1 week left, so to get involved, this week we're going 2 from 2, and we're building really good momentum leading into some really nice maidens. Matty, race 7.
Perfect. Thank you, mate. Have you got the odds there up at Rosehill?
I do. Give us 10 seconds for it to load. Race 7.
You got a score check there?
Yep. Do you want to know?
Oh, shit. Do I? Oh, yes. Yes, please.
13 points up.
Oh, come on, Vegas.
And I'll leave Matty at that so he can ponder is there. So number 11, Duas, is the favourite at $2.80. Spanish Mission, $4. Think it over, $4.50. She's Ideal, $10. And the rest, $11 plus.
Thank you, Worm. Talking points here. You got the Australian Cup form, and then is there anything else within this within this field that's going to get close to them? So you've got the likes of Jewis, Think It Over, and Spanish Mission, and then you've got some Sydney form and one across from the ditch in the Chosen One. So we'll run through my top four, but interesting just in terms of the form coming into this race and where they've come from. I think the Australian Cup is definitely going to be the form line to follow. Now, one that I don't mind its preparation so far is Angel of Truth. Now, from its barrier number one, it's going to get a very, very easy run. It'll jump, it'll probably sit one back, and it'll probably have to sit behind Avion Fury, but it's going to get just a very, very easy run. So coming up to the corner, it'll be in with a chance. I don't know whether across the last 300 metres it's going to have the turn of foot needed, but it's been competitive in all its starts this preparation. So I did find that one to be somewhat intriguing. The Chosen One, first start back in Oz after a little 3 runs in New Zealand. Huge run in the Melbourne Cup last prep. It's definitely come back well. I think it's had 3 placings from its 3 starts. And last start was absolutely impressive. Got a long way back, came home, very, very powerful across the line. So I think moving up to 2,400 metres will definitely suit with Huey Bowman on board is a big, big tick. Then we come to Jewis, who obviously within the Australian Cup was very impressive. It was put to sleep within the Australian Cup, sat 4th last around the bend, and the last 400 metres was exceptional. Par stays on board, drops another half a kilo here, and I really can't fault it. But I have put Spanish Mission on board on top here. Went forward in a really high pressure race within the Australian Cup. The first 800 was on. They went well and truly above benchmark, and the horses that were putting the pressure on dropped away by the 4 or 350 metre mark, where Spanish Mission was able to hold on for second. Obviously, Gillis ran past it, but Spanish Mission was exceptional within that race with the amount of pressure that was put on it within the first 800 metres. So from the wide gate, it's going to need to go forward, and Avion Fury will be the other one moving forward. I don't think there'll be too much of a challenge, and I don't know whether there'll be much pressure like there was in the Australian Cup. J-Mac will just be able to slot it on the outside of Avion Fury, and from there, I think they'll be able to dictate terms. On pace, I think will suit it a lot better up in Sydney than what it did in Melbourne. In a lower pressure race, I think Jewis isn't going to have the opportunity to close off as well as what it did within the Australian Cup. So, Worm, I've got Spanish Mission on top. I can't talk anyone out of backing Jewis. Its campaign has been second to none, and really quite interested to see how the Chosen One runs. Angel of Truth, I had 4th. I just think it gets the run of this race. But Spanish Mission for me, one.
Yeah, well put down there, mate. I just can't see how they turn the tables on Juarez. It was bloody impressive, but totally respect what you're saying about Spanish Mission. If they don't go as hard in this, how are they going to get past it? Yeah, Juarez starts 2 starts ago against Very Elegant on the heavy. Geez, it should have won. So I'm going to be going with Duas, I reckon, but maybe a little quinality with Spanish Mission. All right,
Don't
race
mind it at all.
7,
Don't mind it.
guys. Hey?
No, don't mind it at all. I think they'll be the two finding it out. So Cornella might be the smart play.
Beautiful. There we go. Punters. Race 7. We have the Horiba Stakes. What a horse he was. The odds we have. Bear with us. The astrologist, $4. I think it will come out, and it's definitely running in the William Reed on Friday night. So favourite is Superior at $5 with deductions. La Mexicana $6.50. Senor Fox at $6.50. Chassé at $8.50. Maritana $12 and $14 the rest. The speed map, they're definitely going to be 3 lines here with Oregon Vainstream will have to go forward from 8 with Award Winner, and Sansom could be 3 wide. I can't see Vainstream trying to take a sit behind them. Next line we'll have La Mexicana 3 wide, a Chassis just smoking the pipe there, and Great Again will kick up from 1. Maritana will be 3 wide. High Tail will be sitting behind Chassis. Superior and Senor Fox will be near last, and Not an Option will be last. Now, run through a few of the dangers to what I like. Number 2, Senor Fox, going off its last prep, running against Big Parade. Eduardo lost and running. It has to be a chance with those forms. Had 3 trials and its first up for assignment for Saturday, and all 3 were a pass mark. Just worried it'll get too far back at Mornington. Number 5, Superium, consistent prep so far without winning. Form reads really well with Overpass, Lost and Running, Bermudez, and In the Boat. Last start brings those form lines that can win. Its last start against In the Boat was an okay run, hugged the rail, and thought it could have gone just a touch better, but definitely a chance if you like it. The one I've landed on and very happy to be on is number 9, Chassis. He's had 2 jump outs, and its most recent jump out was impressive. Has had a change of trainer, John Price to Kieran Ma. I think that's a positive change and probably the best change you can do. Don't get me wrong, the horse went absolutely super for John Price and probably did a great job with him. But if the Kieran Ma polish is applied, then this looks like a standout bet. Going back on its last prep, beaten under a length to Probabile and Bella Nipotina, and we know how good they are. Should lob 2 wide behind the leaders. I know I'm putting a lot of faith in Mick D's hands this weekend with Pondus and now Chassis, but I feel he can ride a few winners for us on the weekend. Currently $9. There will be deductions because of the astrologers. Yeah, I don't know where it could be $6 after deductions, and I reckon they come again on Saturday, and it could be around the $4 mark. So I'm very keen to be on Chassis, Matty.
Oh, very interesting. Change of stable. Obviously, Kirama. You would expect some improvement. So, well, I found it quite a even race. So, going to jump on board Chassis as well, and we'll let Mickey D ride that one home for us.
I'll be cheering from the marquee on Saturday at Mornington if it hits the front. Around the grounds, I'll kick things off actually. No, actually, you've got one in before me in the Valley, the 955.
We do, mate. We're going to go to the 955 final, race 5 at the Valley. We're going to go Bless Her, resuming. For me, this one looks like it's a racing too with Yulong Command, but I'm very, very much a fan of the $8 versus the $3 you're getting on Yulong Command. Yulong, we know what it's going to do, jump from barrier 1, go forward. Worm, as you mentioned to me earlier, it's been up for a while, so I think I'd much prefer to be on Bless Her at $8 rather than Yulong Command at 3. So that'll kick us off at the Valley.
Definitely agree, mate. When I had a quick look at the Valley, I'm like, how can I get this beat? And I think there's a couple of winning chances, and Bless Her's definitely one. I'm going to have a bet in race 8 here, but it could roll into Mornington. So bear with me, punters. Happy to have a 2-bet play here in race 8. Number 3, Ancient Girl, was a huge win on Adelaide. I thought they went fast up front, but when the numbers came back, they only went slow. Went straight to the front and absolutely smashed them. Brings those tactics here. It should be hard to catch. And if it finds the rail, which I reckon it will, on the day that you want to be on the rail, I think the $4 is a bet. My saver bet's going to be on number 10, always on my mind. Had barrier 1 last start at Sandown. The inside was off. Was trying to get to the middle part of the track when you should have been running fast and straight. Nice barrier again, so it can roll forward. And I think $16 looks a bit overs. And the winner out of that race was Ponding, and he ran third on the weekend at Flemington. So $16, I don't think you'll be getting that come race time. But also note, guys, number 3, Ancient Girl, is a double acceptor, and it goes around in Mornington. So if it runs at Mornington, we will be having a bet, and I think that's in race 5. No, it's not. Don't worry, but it's running somewhere at Mornington, and it's about a $2 pop. Bear with me. I think I know where it is. No, I've absolutely stuffed it. I don't know where it's running at Mornington, but it is running, so we'll go with that, which will lead me into Mornington. Race 2, number 1, Yaki Ishii. This is one of the worst races I've ever seen on a Metro card, and they should be embarrassed that these are going. Half of these are going, 80% are going through. But this is coming out of the big 2-year-old sires race at Flemington. Willow took it straight to the front and held on nicely, and even through the line, he wanted to keep going. So 1,500 will suit at $2. I think it's a bet because I can see this starting at $1.70. Matty, you want to have a bet in Sydney?
Yes, we did. Ancient Girl, race 8, mate. Race 8 currently around 250 at Mornington. But Sydney, we're going to go
Beautiful.
race 9. We're going to go Moi Tao, I should say. Now, if you haven't seen this trial, please do look it up. Very, very impressive. Just like its last start win was very impressive. So, even though it is a large field, I think the 290 that's on offer currently, I think if you shop around, you could probably get $3, $3.10. But I don't think that's going to be around too much longer. So, I'd be jumping on board. From barrier 4, I believe it jumps to the front, and it's going to be exceptionally hard to run down. So, it's Moi Tao, I think we're going to go with race 9 at Sydney.
Beautiful. Uh, Listeners, if you are watching us through YouTube, please subscribe to our channel, as you will get a notification as it drops. So you don't have to wait until I notify it. You will get the notification straight to your phone or iPad or computer. Same as it goes with our podcast listeners. Subscribe to the channel. You will get a notification when it drops. More importantly, please share with your friends or family. We would really appreciate it. Thank you all. Now, we've added a new segment at the end. We're going to have a multi each week, punters. 1 to 2 legs each. We're going to pick out. We're going to have $20 on it with Wishbet. So I'm going to chuck in Mornington Race 7, number 9, chassis at around the $8. We'll get a few deductions with that. And I'm going to chuck in an NRL bet. I'm going to take Newcastle at $3 to beat Penrith Panthers, both on neutral ground, playing up at Bathurst, so there's no home ground advantage. Newcastle are 2-0, beat the Roosters, I believe, last week, and Penrith are just going okay. So the $3, I think they're value. So that's Mornington Race 7, number 9, chassis into NRL Newcastle. Matty, you're going with race 5, Moonee Valley, number 2, Bless Her. Is that correct? The place?
Yeah, for a place, thank you. I think
And
maybe
you're
at 240 at the moment, so we'll lock in on that, and then we'll go the Pies over the Crows. Now, apologies to all my in-laws, but I was quite impressed by the Pies last week. But Adelaide, yeah, just again, I don't know how they lose games, but they just managed to. But I think Collingwood were very, very impressive.
Yep, totally agree. And that multi comes to $69. 20 on that. Hello, boys. We're in.
Giddy up.
All right. And I will post it on social media later in the week, guys. So if you don't get it, I will post it. Thank you to Wishbet. Pineapple of the week, our contestant is James. What will we go with? Well, I don't think there's any surprise. We're going to go with Mornington Race 7 chassis at I think he's locked in $8 thanks to Wishbet. So he's going to get a few deductions, but that's okay because it will be winning and he will have a nice fill up in his account. Anything else to add, Matty?
Mate, hurry up. Let's go. Blues up.
Yeah, last quarter's about to kick off. Matty's getting a bit antsy and he's going to end up in the doghouse when Karsha finds out what he said about Adelaide. So thank you all for listening. Once I did say, guys, please like us on YouTube. Please like us on your whatever podcast platform you use, and we really appreciate it. Hope you have a fill up like we will, and we will see you next week. Thank you, punters.